Lighting, good people. What? Boom, there we go. Good morning, good people. Good morning. Today is Wednesday, January 7th, 2026. This month is one quarter over. This is Department of Career Services. My name is Edward Bevilacqua, and we are here to help our students and interested people on their journey through this life. Boom, that's it. How? Right. Well, we do it in a couple ways. Mainly, we help people, our students and interested people, understand the tools that they need. Well, understand how to use tools that will help them in their life to prepare for what happens when we shed this mortal coil. Seems kind of strange. Testing. Okay, so there's a little bit of latency, but that's okay. Tomorrow is the big day, the first day of the Nevada Frontier Show. And in a selfless plug, there's the business card. Got that shine on it. Trying to figure out where to put it. So, okay. So, business card designed by AI in combination with ChatGPT, Canva. I don't know if I use Perplexity or Claude, but so tomorrow is the big day, the first show. The guests are ready. I'm going to be at the station today. Make final arrangements, adjustments, fingers crossed. And yeah, so let's get into it. Our theme of today is to be sure. That's a Seth Godin thing. Let's look at our advice from an 80-year-old. Advice from an 80-year-old. Never give up on anybody. Miracles happen every day. Never give up on anybody. Okay, so what do I have to say about that? Well, the show starts tomorrow. Never give up on anybody. It's not too late. Bonk. Was that more of a bonk or a bonk? It's not too late. Oops. Not too late. Text, call, etc. Okay. All righty then. Okay, so advice from an 80-year-old, never give up on anybody. Miracles happen every day. It's a good way to start the day with that belief. Miracles happen every day. Don't give up on people. Scary things. Sometimes it's scary to call somebody up. But you never know. Okay, so big day today, big day. Today is Wednesday, our volunteers breakfast at the Methodist Church. All are welcome. Good morning, what not a bevy. Thank you. Thank you for the compliment on the lighting. I also have a compliment from your brother in Fort Jacks that his Kawasaki Vulcan rental went well. Great family bonding experience. A dad and two sons rode 220 miles on Kawasaki Vulcans down the coast of Florida. So good for them. A good bike for that. Right size. Not too big and certainly not too small. But I digress. Okay, so Seth Godin. Well, let me again repeat. Advice from an 80-year-old: never give up on anybody. Miracles happen every day. What does Seth Godin have to tell us today? To be sure, even though yeast is far more reliable than it used to be, many bakers still proof it before investing the time and materials to bake a loaf of bread. The extra few minutes waiting for it to bloom is cheap insurance to avoid a failed loaf a day later. If you need to be sure there are no pits in your chop dates, it makes sense to avoid mechanically depitted fruit. Every single date has exactly one pit, and if you find it yourself, you'll know that you've found it. We can't do every task ourselves, and we can't test every raw material, particularly if it's a destructive test like whether or not this glass is tempered. The math is simple but easy to avoid. What are the chances that the component in question might fail, multiplied by the cost of the project if it does? Compare this to the cost of the test and you'll know what to do. Right. So if you have a low probability that the thing will fail and the cost is low if it does fail, there's not really any point to testing it. In my experience, we focus on the easy tests without thinking hard about the real costs. 3 shortcuts to avoid. Okay, here we go. Tradition, proximity to failure, and the vividness of the rare cataclysm. Traditional tests might distract us from the checks we ought to be doing. Proximity to failure puts our focus on things at the end of the process, as opposed to thinking hard about the underlying components and systems failure. And vivid failures are failures that get our attention, but loud and urgent aren't the same as important and useful. Okay, so that went over my head, which means 2 things. Number 1, it was very insightful. What? Yeah, it means it was very insightful. And 2, that's the kind of thing you need to go back, break it down, deconstruct it, ponder it, because it's important. Uh-oh, let's see one there. Got him. So that's where the FAFO comes in. FAFO. Fly around, find out. Right, what, not a bevy? Fly around, find out. I don't know what it is about this area this year. There should be no flies. So it makes me think there's some kind of dead animal upwind from here. And then within 3 miles, because I'm told by the manager of the dairy that flies only travel 3 miles. So, yeah. Okay, Seth Godin, that was an important one. So important, I don't get it, but FAFO, fly around, find out. Okay, today is day 3, week 2. Day 3, week 2 in our neuroscience-oriented approach to success. I want to give a little anecdotal story on the other book that I don't have a copy of because I gave my last one away. The person I gave the last one to was hesitant to read it, wanted it on Kindle, picked it up, started reading it, and I got a couple of very good comments, and it's important because this is an important person. And so he took screenshots of 2 pages, page 17 and page, I don't know, first comment, love, got it. The second one, can I keep the book? The best takeaway is this section, exclamation, 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 exclamation point. Okay, so that's encouraging. Well, when you do core, invite non-Catholics, and that's fine. Okay, so we'll see how we do that, what that means. But anyway, today is day 3 in week 2. This is our reticular activating system, one of my favorite ones for several reasons. One, it answers a lot of questions that we have, observations we've had, and it takes away a lot of myths. And the third thing would be that we didn't really know about this because we didn't have technology tools sophisticated enough, precise enough to be able to see it. So we didn't know this is what it was until we had technology that was sensitive enough. But now we do, so we do. The reticular activating system is a part of our brain at the top of our brain stem, about the bundle of neurons, about the size of our little finger. And what's important about that, the brain stem, is all of our senses come in through our brain stem. Now, yes, our eyes also do connect to our brain, but that's for a slightly different purpose, just because there's so much processing power going on that, but for our purposes, our senses, our smell, sight, sound, taste, touch, everything, it doesn't connect to our brain, it connects to our brainstem, our spinal cord, all of the nerves in our body, all of that comes in through our spinal cord and into our brainstem, and from our brainstem into our brain. And you can think of the reticular activating system, that part at the top of the brainstem that kind of is directing things, well, it's letting things in or not, and then directing them to where they go. So, for example, a simple experiment is, well, the first thing is letting it in. So in this TED Talk, Mark Dawes will say we have about 400 billion bits of information flowing in through our senses into our brainstem. And almost all of it is blocked by our reticular activating system. For example, you don't become aware of the seat of your chair until you focus on the seat of your chair, or your feet, or your hands, or the sounds, or the smells, or the sights. We have very little that we are actually aware of until we decide we're going to focus on a thing, and then all of a sudden, wow, yeah, the floor is there, the chair is there. It's actually kind of cold here. Or, what is that smell? What is that sound? They're all there. We just are not aware of it. We have it blocked out until we focus on it. Now, the reticular activating system is always out there scanning all information available to us. So if our senses can perceive it, it's coming to the RAS. Most of it is blocked unless it's important to us. So a simple example that we've always done is you're at an airport and you all of a sudden hear your name announced over the PA system. Would so-and-so go to a white courtesy phone? You don't hear anybody else's name. You're not even aware of it. But when your name is said, whammo, you hear it in real time. That is amazing. If you think about it, that's really amazing. You can be in a crowded room facing that direction. Somebody comes behind you and loud enough they say your name that you can hear it. You will probably hear it. Unless you're deeply immersed in something where all of your attention is focused here and nothing else is going to get in. But just in normal state, somebody says your name loud enough for you to hear it, and you hear it. They don't have to get your attention first. They don't have, hey, tap you on the shoulder. Hey, you don't have to do that first. Okay, that's the RAS. Now, so that's the first thing. It lets in things that are important. If it is important, it gets in. Our names are a key thing that get let in. Why? Because our name is important to us. Why? Well, for almost everybody, it started with we were very young children, and it started with our mothers saying something like, if I call your name, you answer me, or you come, don't make me go looking for you. Whack. And so it became important. So now it is so instinctual almost, so programmed in, so hardwired that somebody says your name, you almost cannot not respond. You must respond. That's an example. Okay, our names are important to us. Anything else? So another example that is often given is you get a new car and all of a sudden you notice that car everywhere, or a new suit, clothes, shoes, whatever, if you're a woman. Whatever you have all of a sudden becomes important and you notice. I was driving with somebody one time that had a goofy bumper sticker on her car. I think it was one of those gonzo things, looking out over the ledge. And we're driving along in traffic, and all of a sudden she says, hey, that car has the same bumper sticker as me. Was she looking at every car for their bumper sticker? No, she wasn't. But that bumper sticker, she recognized it was important to her. So she noticed it without noticing that she noticed it until she actually did notice it. So that's what the RAS does. Part one lets things in. Part two, it sends it to a place in the brain. So if I say to you, I'm invited to go to a tasting today for liver and onion flavored ice cream. As soon as the words get out of my mouth, most people are going to say, yuck. You're going to have that kind of liver and onion flavored ice cream. And I'll say, well, what? You don't like ice cream? And people will say, no, I don't like liver and onion flavored ice cream. I say, well, have you ever tried it? And of course, nobody's ever tried it. And then I'll say, well, it's like green tea ice cream with chunks of liver and onion sticking out of it. And of course, that activates the belief that this is not good. And we can go back to Monday and see one of the things that our neurons do is we have the ability to simulate. So nobody's ever had liver and onion flavored ice cream, green tea flavored ice cream with chunks of liver and onion sticking out of them. Nobody's ever had that. But we can all simulate. If we've had liver and onion and we've had ice cream, we can simulate what that would be like, even if we haven't had green tea ice cream. Now, and I say, oh, so most people are like, oh, no. So that comes in from my ears into my reticular activating system, and it's sent to the yuck area. We could see this on an fMRI. On the other hand, well, sorry, did I say liver and onion? I meant peach pie. I get to go to a peach pie tasting contest today. The warm peach pie, cinnamon on top, a little bit of sugar, Alamo too, if you want it that way, or whipped cream. And now what's happening is the ghrelin is starting to get released, perhaps, for people who like peach pie. Immediately it happens, right? Next thing is I say what? What, not a bevy. I say, oh, did I say peach pie? I'm sorry. I got invited to a Hetzapetza tasting. And then the thing is, what? Hetzapetza tasting Hetzapetza. Or I do a Hetzapetza. Like, I don't know what it is. That would probably be better. If I say Hetzapetza, like, what are you, stupid? You don't know what Hetzapetza is? Because nobody knows what Hetzapetza is. Well, one person knows. But Well, 2 people know. Actually, maybe 3. Well, could be 4. Does it matter how many people know? But say, no, I'm sorry. I'm going to a Hetza tasting contest today. Where does the Raz send it? So what's going on is ping pong, not ping pong, pinball, bing, 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 bing. Is it something you eat, drink? Is it hot, cold, crunchy, smooth? I'm thinking about it, and then I can up the ante and say, yeah, they told me if I taste it, I could get $10,000. And then there's the, that sounds interesting. You got my attention because $10,000 is important to me. And they said, but I could get violently sick and there could be permanent damage. So I'm not really sure, right? And so what's going on in our brain? That is the power of the Raz. And we is out of time. So time, such a runic rhyme.